What's going on YouTube? This is Dre the Plug coming at you guys with some more technical heat, and in this video I'm just gonna drop another interview of my friend, somebody else that I'm really cool with out here in Detroit, Michigan. We both came from different states. I came from Houston, of course. He came from Chicago, and he's just gonna tell his whole spectrum of actually jumping into being a mechanical engineer. Unfortunately, he's not an electrical engineer. So let's get into it.
Thank you for having me, Andre. I'm very excited to be here. My name again is Jimmy Mickens. I'm from Homewood, Illinois, which is a south suburb of Chicago. I went to the University of Kentucky where I studied mechanical engineering. And what got me into engineering, or mechanical engineering more specifically, is growing up, I liked cars. You know, that was my thing. I grew up wanting to be a car fixer. And so just growing up over time, it evolved into a mechanical engineer. And it's funny how things have kind of come full circle where I work for General Motors now, who is one of the greatest car manufacturers in the world.
All right, so what made you want to jump into the automotive industry out of all of the different types of mechanical engineering fields out there? You know, you guys can pretty much legitly do anything, jump into any field. What made you want to jump into the automotive industry and work for General Motors out of all companies?
Yeah, so like I said, growing up, I've always wanted to be a car fixer, a car builder. And so now working with GM, I'm a part of the greatest car manufacturing company. What got my foot in the door was NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. If it wasn't for NSBE, you know, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. It was getting that first conversation at FRC and then having that interview. And that first interview, I was able to get an internship with GM up here in Michigan. And then following that, I was offered a full-time role in the track rotational program. And I like it a lot, you know.
All right, so what do you like the most when it comes down to working for General Motors?
What I like most about working at GM is the opportunities that the track program offers. Being an engineer, you know, I problem solve. I like to figure out answers to problems, to issues. And in the rotational program, we're able to try out many different roles. Whether we like them or not, it's not permanent. You know, you don't have to, you're not stuck in a role. You're constantly learning, constantly evolving. I would say the ability to challenge yourself is what I like.
Got it. Yeah, you guys, so basically the track is basically the rotational program for General Motors. If you're not sure what a rotational program is, definitely check out my rotational program video. I dropped it not too long ago. You guys could definitely look through the whole process, the benefits of being up in a rotational programs, the cons, pros and cons. Definitely check that video. I actually go in depth of basically why you should get into a rotational program. It's way more benefits versus jumping into just being in a full-time offer as soon as you graduate. Okay, so what would you say is your biggest benefit when it comes down to being a mechanical engineer? What do you gain the most?
Well, to me, the biggest benefit of being a mechanical engineer is the opportunities you have. As a ME, you can work in literally every single industry. An electrical engineer, for instance, they kind of lock themselves into just the electrical space. Whereas being an ME, we can design the electrical components. We can also design the vehicle that's going to move those electrical components. So to me, mechanical engineering just opens more doors. It has more opportunities. And then with those other opportunities, more doors, networking opportunities. So to me, the biggest benefit to being an ME is all of your opportunities.
All right, so what's something that you did not expect being a full-time mechanical engineer in the industry?
Well, I would say what I didn't expect is the vast application of engineering in general. Any product you think of, any process you think of has to be engineered. Whether you're getting bananas from the field and bringing them to the grocery store, or you're building cell phones, you know, there's a process to that product, and that process has to be made better. And so being a full-time mechanical engineer, you touch all these other industries and you're seeing where you as an engineer, you can be a part of the process. Whether it is an engineering application or not, you can apply engineering to it. I would say that was like my biggest unexpected learning with engineering.
Okay, so what exactly is Cultivating Cannabis?
So yeah, cultivating cannabis is the process of growing cannabis itself. So, and again, remember I'm an engineer, so it's not just putting a seed into dirt and then growing a plant. My process is called hydroponics, which is growing cannabis plants in all water, no soil. It's just a different process of growing. It gives you more control. And again, as an engineer, I want to automate the process, and it's easiest and best to automate a process through hydroponic growing. And again, which is growing a cannabis plant in all water, no soil.
All right, so you mentioned hydroponics. How exactly did you get into that?
Yeah, so when I was back at the University of Kentucky, I had a professor that I worked for. We worked in a lab where we had 3D printers, laser cutters, mills, and technology like that. And he started a hydroponic garden of just vegetables, fruits, and berries. And at that point, I was already growing cannabis in the soil method. And hearing about this new hydroponic method through my professor, I volunteered to help build the system. And so through helping my professor build a system to grow fruits and berries, I learned that you can adopt this same technology to growing cannabis at a better rate. And that's, at the end of the day, what we're going for. And so, one of my professors back in college got me into the idea of hydroponics.
All right, Jimmy, so I know you have other side hustles. So what else do you have cooked up?
Well, Andre, it's funny that you mentioned cooking up, because right now my partner and I are developing a brand called Exceptionally Buttered, and I actually have some samples on me right now. And so what Exceptionally Buttered is, it's a premium brand of cannabis-infused honeys, butters, and oils. And so that's why the pun of cooking, came into play here, because we're cooking with cannabis.
Gotcha. I see you have like another product. Like, what's the difference between these?
So what we have here is we have the honey and the oil, for examples. We got cannabis-infused oils, butters, and honeys. And so today we've got oil and honey.
All right, so what type of foods do you typically add these type of liquids into?
So you can add these products to any food item. You can turn any food edible item into a cannabis edible. So for instance, if you're making salmon for dinner, you can use some of our infused butter, put a little bit on top, and boom, now you have infused salmon. Or one of our house favorites is honey infused wings. And so what we'll do is make chicken wings and then make a glaze for those wings, and the base of the glaze is our infused honey. So any application that you use honey, butter, or oil, if you substitute exceptionally buttered, you'll become exceptionally buttered. You'll become exceptionally buttered.
Okay, if somebody out there want to support your product, where could they go? Like, what's your information that could actually lead them to actually purchasing this?
Yeah, so right now, if you want to purchase our product or reach out to us, we're very active on our Instagram page, which you can find at exceptionally buttered, all one word, and you can find that link in the description below. As well, if you wanted to get to my grow page, that will be at JB Cultivates, again, one word, at JB Cultivates. And yeah, you can message us, DM us on Instagram, and we'll also have a website coming soon. So please stay on the lookout for that.
Hey man, definitely hit that link down in the description, man. Check out the Instagram.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what's one thing that you would want a viewer to take away if they didn't take anything else away from this interview? What's something that you would want somebody else out there to know?
Well, I would say challenge yourself. Because if you're challenging yourself, and it makes you nervous, and if you're nervous, that means you're learning and growing. And so I would say that's what I try to live. Just challenge myself every day, grow, learn, become better than you were yesterday.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreThePlug123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called Andre ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done, and I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.